Nas just dropped an album, Magic, produced by Hit Boy. 9 songs. It's about 30 minutes. We'll probably get through this a lot faster than that. It's been out a few days. Didn't realize it even came out. Not sure what kind of promo went into this. King's Disease 3 is already in the works. Nas is one of those artists where you don't know what to expect. Hit or miss, the greatest thing in the world, super prolific, or bad beat selection, bad timing, project didn't sit well with the streets. From first impressions, looking at this cover, this feels a little classic Nas. I can't imagine he could possibly lead us astray with an album that looks this good. The cover is very minimalistic. It's like his reflection in a mirror. Can't even tell if it's an old photo or some current photo manipulation tactics, but I have to say I like it. So Magic, the album. Track 1, Speechless.
I get it. It's who the latest, we in competition. Y'all did it first and me to death. I got a proposition. You and your brothers stop plotting on each other, plot on millions. Educate yourself, find to different areas of interest.
This is a pretty good song. I just wonder if it's foreshadowing the rest of the album. The only thing I don't really care for is that bass guitar that's plucking on the hook, coming in and out. Bloom, bloom, bloom. Overkill. I know this is kind of what made Nas's sound what it was, but I kind of hate that as he gets older, his delivery seems more like he's reading. It's the weirdest thing. It might even just be the beat selection. When it comes to this lyrically, I don't have anything bad to say. That's not a surprise, of course. His delivery seems more ABC in terms of you can tell he's reading it. It feels like he's reading it. So the delivery feels a little disingenuous. I think it's because his cadence in delivery always ends up here in this tone. So it always sounds like he's reading. Like I start to realize a little bit why Nas couldn't stay relevant. I think it had to do with the other artists being able to really be more emotional and tap into like that feeling on the microphone. It feels strange to say that Nas isn't the most emotional artist, because he's prolific in songwriting. I'm actually struggling to say this respectfully. Sometimes I think he writes the story better than he can tell it, because it is his story, right? And who better to tell it? All right, track 2, Meet Joe Black.
Niggas say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house niggas. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at, you fuck around me, Joe Black.
That weird triplet flow reminds me of J. Cole, and as much as I like this one, there's something about like the last line in that hook. The instrumental feels like it's ending on the 3rd bar, and then going into the 4th is super awkward for me. But this is a super good song. This is a great, great, great record. Not hating at all. There's always like something off about a Nas record, and I hate that, because it's like it wants to be great, and then there's something weird about it. Something that makes it like, I don't want to replay it. I don't know what it is. If you can identify it better than me, I would love your opinion. Track 3, Ugly.
Companies profit off of black trauma. That's ugly, man, ugly, just like Shanae and Wanda. It's ugly how Mercedes Moore lost her life to a stalker. I'm on office every day until I see the love. KD3 on the way, this just to feed the bug.
Very old school vibes. I guess that's the point. A lot of sampling, a lot of repetitiveness. I still think I'm a little disappointed there's not any hooks, but I'm not sure what I really expected, right? I'm not going to be upset about that. This is more of like a freestyle project saying, you know, King's Disease 3 on the way is kind of just to feed the hype. Okay. In that sense, I'd imagine it might just be a bunch of lyrical hype. It's just a bunch of good verses, things that might have not made the cut, stuff that's still good, but like filler content, a bunch of filler content maybe, but messages are on here, not to take away from. This is actually a pretty good project. I like it. So far, so good. Can't really hate on this. I kind of think I know what this is, and it might just be a bunch of unfinished, incomplete stuff, and I'm not mad at that at all, because sometimes these are the better interludes between an artist's creational time period. Personally, I don't even mind, structure in terms of song structure. To be honest, if I found out that this was like kind of improvised, all incomplete records, just all thrown together, they got to take their time picking out the records. And basically, I can relate to this kind of thing personally. But depending on where Nas is at in his life right now, I think will actually determine how good this project is, because you could really just go through like a creative bout of just fire nonstop and you don't know what to do with all these records. Not sure if this is turning out to be that, but I'm keeping an open mind. Moving on to track 4, 4016 Building.
These streets was only his region. Should everybody squeeze it? Niggas know what I came in this game with. I'm not an entertainer. That's just a disclaimer for what I'm about to say. Famous people say it ain't hate being famous. Millionaires hate it. People take just to feel like they made it. Whoever claimed that you changed cause that money came, they do the same if they saw their name on 100 things. Pardon the haters, it's my Billy behavior. If they don't say I'm the GOAT, that's the silly behavior. It's the ones you grew up with. That's with the dumb shit. They want you slump cause you get love. Ain't that some shit? 20 trucks at the awards. We be moving so crazy.
That was the one. It's my favorite one on the project, 4016. The bridge. That bridge is nasty. The flow impeccable. The lyrics, I got a story on it. Need I really say more? That beat is great. The beat, phenomenal. Bum, 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 bum. This is old school as it gets. At least we got one gem on here. This one's really good. I hope there's more of these. Y'all think this is the best record? Am I about to get more? Am I getting more of this? Damn. I would 100% replay this record. Great song. Great job. Track 5, Hollywood Gangsta.
Holding sticks without a hockey puck. Can't co-sign them niggas not with us. Hop on a private jet with 12 tenants. Right when I land, the chopper to Manhattan is 12 minutes. I'm the opposite. Smooth, not spreading fear. Silver spoons never fed and I say I'm on top and I'm surprised. Not surprised. I ain't say don't have your goons.
This one's kind of interesting because this is my least favorite beat, but my favorite Nas flow. Rides it smooth, killing it, literally just having fun. Very laid back record, right? I don't want anyone to think that when I call something boring, it means it's not a good song. I just wasn't as into it as I could have been. This is a good record. It could have been a little more driving. I always feel like there's one instrument too many in a Nas record. That's just my opinion, but maybe you have to make up for the lackluster hooks. A lot of these hooks are extremely simple, and I think maybe trying to make up for it instrumentally, like adding another melody, for example. But I'm just trying to speculate why I feel like that about Nas records. I could be wrong. Y'all may think I'm full of shit. That's cool too. Prefer a thumbs up though, to be honest with you. Track 6, Woo for the Children.
Gotta be a special type woman to feel what I write. Special like my classics. Special like my listeners who have attachments to my old style. Won't let me pass it. Gotta be a special type nigga to deal with my life. Gotta be a special type nigga to feel what I write. Special like my classics. Special like my listeners who have attachments to my old style. Won't let me pass it.
Am I tripping, or is Nas blaming us for not changing his music? Special like my classics, like my listeners who have attachments to my old style won't let me pass it. Is Nas trying to say he's only making this kind of music because we won't let him not make this music? I mean, if Nas made better current music over current beats, there's current flows I think he could attempt to keep up with, but like the triplet thing, I don't think Nas needs to be doing that. I don't even think Nas has anything to prove. But the idea that he thinks we're attached to his old style, maybe. If y'all, I get it, Nas fans, likely, older men, cool. My point is, he's blaming us for not creating a newer style or coming up with more clever, creative things. That's the only thing I will say about that record. But this feels very classic, though. This is as easy listening Nas as it gets. Up here, he does say, turn up the sample, we making magic. I do imagine perhaps this was the record that caused them to create the album in the first place. Maybe this was the one that sparked it. So assuming that's true, this is a pretty good record. I do like it. Lyrically, there's a lot here. He's telling a pretty cool story. I enjoyed this one. Track 7, Wave Gods, DJ Premier.
Shout to Max B, he could be home any day, God. Wake up out the bed, scruffy sparking my J. Shine my nickel plated, then I'm starting my day. My old lady called me baby, told apart in my age. 12 shells in the gauge, like a cart in the eggs. We on home like every carbon chromosomes on my conscience. Here's a niggas talking nonsense, call them nasty Nostradamus. Rock the pearls and diamonds, break your promise, break your wildest, break a heart and break a pocket. Take your notes like guidance counselors. The cracks like the chancellor, the answer to the panhandlers. The corners with the mans is up, the jig is up, the scams is up. Yeah, they hands is up.
Wow. Shit. Yo, I'm thoroughly impressed with ASAP on this one, because here's another example of like, all right, Nas will make an excuse for not staying modern, but ASAP will go back to the basics. Do you know what I mean? I love that both these guys are able to complement each other. This is a phenomenal record. I think this one might be my favorite. There's so much here. I could re-listen to this on repeat and get something new every single time. I was really impressed that I thought the samples might have taken away from this record because nothing's really repeating. Like I said, there's no choruses. There's no consistency in terms of great hooks on this project. Can't complain on this record, though. That's a wave in itself, right? Nas isn't the most prolific hook writer. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, people have always made better hooks for other artists. It's always been a thing. I guess let's go in the lyrics. I like that over time, ASAP's become like a little more political with the rhymes and stuff. The Gangsta reference is awesome. You know, Max B could be home any day. That's interesting how like you can just keep it so simple. This record was written so smoothly. I found myself just like easily rapping along to it. I really enjoyed this. I can't say much bad about this. Even Premier, you know, scratching up, doing his thing. It was cool. All the samples they took. The beat was great. ASAP did his thing. I can't speak any more highly about this record. I'm pretty impressed with this one. Did not expect this one. And to think that it was like a feature with ASAP of all humans, of all artists on this planet. Did not expect that. The truth.
More racist when I was touring the nation with warrants on probation. I was a small kid amazed with the thought one day I'd be banking. I'd be from drinking Poppy to Abu Dhabi. Probably beside his crank the engine on the 74. Shit, y'all look like the truth to us. Hype off that little dirt you did. They ain't shit to the kid. Whoa.
This is the stuff I'm talking about. Why isn't this higher up on the album? Is it just me? Did he just like put this? I'm just saying, there's a lot here. That classic flow, just rides the beat. This is the shit we love because he can keep this one extremely simple. The hook ain't gotta be crazy. I'll sing this back to you all day. This is as basic hip hop as it gets. Back to the roots. But honestly, these last couple tracks should have been higher up on this project. Am I wrong? Why aren't they putting the best records at the top? I guess if you're a legacy artist, you already know we're going to listen through this whole project. It might not matter, but this is definitely one of the better records. I also think there's something to say about the way Nas is able to play with the beat more than most other artists. The way he just delivers and rides. Nas's wordplay is something else because it sounds like he's flexing, but he's really just like naming things and comparing stuff, you know? He's never really like talking real shit. Nas doesn't really have to be an intimidating artist. He doesn't have to threaten you. He doesn't have to flex on you. He's literally just naming things, metaphors, similes, analogies. And when he's not doing that, the rest of it is just pure storytelling. I was a small kid amazed with the thought. The first line, like, he's literally talking about cops doing nothing, about being robbed, more races, touring the nation with warrants on probation, rhyming, storytelling, literally telling you his life. It's just one of those records where I'm like, this is a flawless effort. He really did work. And just having a few really good songs on this makes me feel like this was already worth it. Last track, track 9, Dedicated.
Yeah, before I make a move, I think about it karmically. Everything come back like a boomerang. I'm black as Paul Mooney slang. And all I pray for is health and a sustainable business and a faithful missus. I see a lot of people try to be who they ain't. We don't want money that fit in the bag, we want the bank. Just to spread it around like icing on the cake. White tiger out the cage, Mike Tyson in 88. Dedicated like Jack Boys on Melrose. Smash and grab, yo, this world became a hellhole. Stake more budgets for more teachers. Financial literacy, more speeches. Chefs come cook for me, look what it took for me. The streets had its hooks in me, yeah. Test, yeah. You know, should be feeling like the last day's cash made. Mirrors on the ceiling with a bad babe. Same age, but niggas be having mad grades. Million man march for real niggas never last place.
Final judgment on this record. I honestly wanted to say, I really wanted to give this an 8, but I'm going to say 7.5. No. You know what? We're going to give it an 8 because a lot of albums that I've reviewed, I would not replay a single record on those albums. This one wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be better, but it's not as bad as it could have been. Compared to previous Nas projects, this is actually better. Gives me a little bit more hope for the longevity of his career, not to say that he hasn't already been around forever. I'm curious if you guys are going to continue replaying this and what you think the best song was, because I feel like Nas has better projects. Maybe there's a couple songs you might throw on a playlist, but I don't know in terms of memorability where this really ranks on the scale of 14 albums. You know, this man's catalog is huge. It's hard to think that he could have had a hit album with every single release. Arguably, the best track on this album was the feature. As I think we all know, Nas is one of the best songwriters / storytellers of our time. In hip-hop, he's undoubtedly already made his mark. He could drop nothing ever again, and he will still continue to be a legend. It's basically impossible for Nas to ruin his career. I don't know how many bad songs he would really have to drop, but no matter what this man does, he was such a pioneer. He's an OG. He's been around so long. He's basically like a Snoop in the sense of how long he's really been around, that he can drop anything. He can stay relevant however he wants, even in terms of how many business ventures that he's ventured off into, the time period of music that they come from. I'm just kind of starting to put him more in that box. Of course, he does not have nearly as many features. Might not even be a fair comparison. But I'm curious if you guys think there's a career that you can even compare him to. Maybe not. Might even be insulting to ask that kind of question. Like I said, Magic is a good album. It's not his best. It's worth listening to for sure. And if you feel like you need to skip a track or two, trust your gut. Regardless, I feel all his fan base could say this was an appreciated attempt to at least put something out and remain relevant this year. I'd even argue this album might have been better than Roddy Ricch's album. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. And they're extremely different. One had completely no hype, and one was overhyped. And they both kind of delivered how you'd expect. And it's crazy to say that the more hype that your project has, the more that people do expect from you. With that being said, it might have been a good thing that this wasn't highly promoted. I feel like we'll actually get to see some real numbers from his core audience from this not being so heavily promoted and circulated, but it's still the first week and we'll see. I'm sure posts will start coming out. However, the project's only been out for a couple days, so we'll see how social media starts to do its rounds in critiquing this project. All right, I drop a new video every single day. Please like and subscribe. I'm Joe Cat. We out.